lock it in. Yeah, it's the Joe Lockett Show. Lock it in, yeah. It's the Joe Lockett Show. Lock it in. Are you ready to be entertained, educated? A little stimulation for your brain. Lock it in. Are you ready to learn? Are you ready to laugh? Are you ready to love? Then lock it in. Lock it in. Yeah. It's the Joe Lockett Show. Lock it in. Yeah. It's the Joe Lockett Show. Lock it in. Lock it in. It's the Joe Lockett Show.
All right. There's also a rumor, and I wasn't gonna bring it up, that you're a clone. That was the one that I heard. That one.
What I say, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying. All right. Oh man, I ain't even got my what's the name on. Alrighty there. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Welcome into the Joe Lockett Show. I am your host / producer, nephew. Welcome in everybody to the show. How y'all been? How the weekend been? I'm gonna be honest, bro. I got carpal tunnel, just trying to make sure everything going off right. It seems like without fail, every time I come back after the week, something's been messed up. But I did get it under control. We straight. We alive for today. But you will be having me here. You may or may not have Joe in for today. So you know what that means? It might be a short show. But I'll do my best to entertain y'all while y'all coming in. What's up to the folks out there on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook? I do have my cameras moving back and forth, so I can't even eye y'all in the face too good. What's up? Right there. Hold on. And what's up right there? There we go. But yeah, man, we got a lot we got enough stuff to get into. We got enough stuff to get into over the weekend. There's been a lot of stuff that happened, especially in entertainment news. And then we also got a topic for you guys today. But yeah, if you are tuning in on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, I'm literally having trouble with two of my Facebook accounts. So if you don't see it popping up on where you usually see it popping up, please go and try to find another page. For some reason, my streaming setup is bugging out on me, and it wants to do that when I'm the only one here, so I can't even go and make sure everything is straight. But if you are tuning in on any of the other platforms, make sure you do like, share, and subscribe. Don't hurt to do it. Plus, you don't even have to pay no money to do it. But if you want to be contributive, you want to contribute, or if you just want to be a part of the show in a different format or a different facet, go ahead, hit you up in the chat. We love to see the interactions. We love to see the engagement. We love to see you guys there. With that being said, one sec. Oh my goodness, this is finna. You want to do this while I do? It's on two computers. Okay. But while we at it, go ahead and let me know how y'all day is going so far. How the weekend been? My weekend has been eventful, to say the most. Well, no, it ain't really been eventful. Things just happened where I had to deal with it. As far as with my weekend, I did check out a very funny-ish type of documentary called I Love You, I Hate You. That was weird. It's actually a Barney documentary, but how they take this, or it's supposed to be like engaging over how the show goes and everything. What's up to Joseph out there? How y'all doing? But yeah, the documentary was pretty funny. I like looking at it. That was pretty that was pretty dope. But yeah, I had a pretty chill weekend. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't do too much that was crazy. But I guess with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the entertainment news for today. We do have a little bit to get into. One sec. See, this one I need somebody just saying nonsense while I'm queuing stuff up. But I do know Joe. He got to handle some business today, so safe travels and how you doing it. Make sure everything is straight. Bring the cheese back. You know what I mean? Bring back the money to the show. I know we be having you hit the corners and all that, but I mean, your name on the show, somebody got to pay for it. No, I'm not. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the entertainment news for today.
So we'll go on with our live entertainment. Without further ado, here they are.
It's cliffhangers.
Love it. I just love it.
Righty, we're gonna start out the show with the sound bite that led in. If you didn't hear it or you're just not joining in, Martin had to make a few things clear. Now, if you was on the show the other day, I know last week me and Joe lightly touched it. But Martin was talking about the rumors and stuff that was going on, and what me and Joe kind of speculated on. Again, not wishing nothing on you. We love you, Martin, as far as with everything you do. Honestly, I can't wait to see when we finna go to the Bad Boys film. But he had his own choice words for the folks that's thinking he either had a stroke or he didn't have a stroke, or if he might have been a clone or something. I know that the clone stuff was real low. I didn't hear none of the clone comments. I know we thought he had a stroke. If anything, how you was talking, Martin, you might as well have confirmed it. But he was mentioning stuff about what was floating around and what was in the ecosphere, talking about him before the film. He here to die all that down. Now, I will say this. Out of all the interviews that he had, this one sounds the most convincing. Because I'm gonna be honest, I thought there was something wrong with him.
And that I look good because there's a rumor out there that I had a stroke. Man, that's totally not true. So I just want to clear that up. But I thank everybody for the concern and the love, and just thank you. But Marty's all good.
Marty's all right. There's also a rumor, and I wasn't gonna bring it up, that you're a clone. That was the one that I heard. That was a clone.
Well, that's AI.
Yeah.
Well, man, look, like we said the last show, Martin, we love you. We want to make sure everything is great. We don't want no type of problems when it comes to you. But I'm gonna be honest, this sounds like just one of them good days. Because if I'm going back to the other interviews you had, bro, you scared me. Yeah, I was a little. You know what I mean? I was a little worried, but this interview, at least from the clips I saw, I can rest easy. It does seem like you fine. I am going to see the Bad Boys 3, 4, whichever one this is. I am going to go see it. Because if we're going to end off on a high note, I want to make sure I was involved in it. So shouts out to the Bad Boys fam, Will and Martin. I heard nothing but good receptions so far. So here's to when I see it. I will definitely keep you guys posted and let you guys know. Next up on the docket, just took something down. Trying to get the reading glasses out. Waffle House is said to start paying its servers extra. For some reason, I guess Waffle House got the money up in the bank account where they can finally start paying folks for these fights that we see in there at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Says here that shout out to the Shade Room covering the story. Waffle House server face is coming in. Waffle House increase in pay is coming in a few months. The company will be raising wages. That it's restaurants all across the country. So hey, even the Waffle House down the corner in Bum F wherever is gonna be getting that paper. This is what I'll say to it. Because I was gonna take this somewhere, but I ain't got the old man here, which I really hate because I wanted to see how he would even feel about this. Being that somebody like him doesn't work. he only hit the corner. He ain't had to actually make a resume. But I am interested in how they gonna divvy that up. If it's just all around the board or if it's just to the servers themselves. I know servers can be kind of a blank statement when you're looking at all the positions that's in it. But this is good for Waffle House. I think it's great. I might try to take a Waffle House as a side job. Who knows? Shouts out to Waffle House and the stuff going on with them. Make sure you don't mess over my Texas toast or whatever. I'm gonna destroy it. Next up on the docket. What we got next? Lee. One sec, y'all. I still got stuff dropping down. All righty. Now, I do have some concerning news. Shout out to Bomb B. I know this was covered a little bit on last weekend, but not last weekend, but last week. I think that Friday evening while we was on the show. Bomb B was facing had to go to the goodness, I'm having a brain fart. Had to go to trial to speak against the dude that actually robbed or tried to break into his home and kill his wife and try to rob the family. More information has came out about that. That dude is finally facing justice. So congrats. They don't get it right every time, but the justice system actually did now. This was covering back in the home invasion that he had in 2019. He was speaking about it a few days ago last week, and it was an emotional one, which I can imagine having to live through that and having to process it all and what could have happened versus what did. The dude right now will be facing a 40-year sentence on the deal. So I'm glad that he's going to be facing that. You deserve it, big dog. Shoot, they could have gave you more for attempted murder, but I guess something worked out in your favor. Who am I to say? But regarding the ordeal, there's been a lot of talk around what Bomb B has been doing it to, and one that's been a little irritating, to say the least, is how people were talking about Bomb B having to give a testimony in or play the case against the guy. I'm sorry, I ain't the best court person when it comes to them hearings and stuff, but he had to give the testimony against old buddy. And for some reason, I'm guessing the talk was y'all think Bomb B is snitching. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe a lot of y'all internet folks ain't really too streetwise, or maybe you ain't just been outside for real. But the last thing snitching is when somebody's actually doing something against you and you're a pedestrian. Like, I'm sure I didn't miss nothing when it came to the only way you can snitch is if you actually are a part of something and you're trying to take a plea or you're trying to get out of what you deserve. So you are throwing other folks under the bus. This is a pedestrian. But I guess folks expect you, if you get old and you was in the street, to still play by street rules. But nothing we've seen from Bun B in the last 20 some odd. Yeah, from the last 20 some odd years, have we seen Bun B be a street dude? I'm gonna be honest, that type of talk right there, when it goes to legends in the game, regardless on how you see them for real, I'm going to testify and probably do extra against anybody who's breaking into my house, for one, 2, trying to rob me, and 3, if they tried to kill my wife. That was attempted murder. Shoot, you gonna be hard pressed to see if I'm not in another pair of orange overalls like he is, because I'm gonna be trying to take this dude out. But I'm gonna be honest, it's only around my age. I can't even defend it at this point. It's only around my age. They're the only ones that would talk about this as if it was a bad thing. But I guess that speaks to ignorance today. If I'm being nice, I guess that speaks to ignorance. But if you gonna claim the street game, or if you're gonna start pronouncing these things, start actually pronouncing it right. But hey, that's just me. All prayers out there to Bun B and his family. Also, all prayers out there to anybody who even face stuff like that. It's hot out here. So when the block is hot, folks start doing some crazy stuff. I had a crazy interaction on my way up here just to come in to work on the highway. Somebody just spun off or whatever it was and shut down the whole highway. Had to do detours just to get over here. Whatever it is, make sure y'all stay safe. Make sure there isn't other problems, and justice for Bun B. I'm glad for that. Next up, what seems like not so much justice. Shout out to James Harden. You got spit out the playoffs, and now you in another one. Or at least whatever girl you brought up here, she's in the playoffs, and she naturally won for you. James Harden's been trending lately because of a viral clip of him at, shout out to Mario Chalmers. He was at one of these weddings, friend of a friend, to where it's on video, somebody throwing the bouquet. I'm guessing the wife of the event throwing the bouquet backwards. Of course, you know all the girls is gonna come to jump up. Oh, let me get the bouquet. I want it. No. So she threw it backwards. And in ironic fashion, it bounced off of everybody's hand. Had to be at least about 50 folks in front of him. He is in the back of the room. How the bouquet find his girl in the back of the room is, hey man, that's beyond me. It had to be nothing but God. It had to be nothing but God. Only he would want this for you, James Harden. Bouquet jumps over 50 some odd people and finds his way in the hands of whatever girl he brought up here. I don't even know this girl. Peggy Spites? Miss Spites? Hey man, this ain't nothing against you, bro. This ain't nothing against you. You're beautiful. I seen a little bit of your Instagram. You are definitely an IG model. But at the same time, y'all just got brought in to be brought in. He wasn't even participating. Y'all wasn't supposed to be participating. Y'all was not supposed to be participating. How it mess around and the bouquet drop in your hands, I have no idea. I love it as talking material because his face says it all. His face said it all. That's the epitome of B, drop the bouquet right now. It's the epitome of, bro, You was not supposed to be getting this. Drop it. we ain't finna be doing nothing. He ain't even hug back. she caught this bouquet and then hugged him like it was meant to be. Come on now. You already know James Harden is a strip club sniper. He is not trying to marry or wife up nobody, especially after he just got dropped out the playoffs. Especially after he just got dropped off the playoffs. That was not the goal. Hey, he trying to get a ring. He ain't trying to give a ring. Hey man, shout out to to James Harden. Congratulations, big dog. I can't wait to see what will happen. All I can say is this is great content. I loved it. This speaks to a lot of dudes. I have no idea how I would feel if I'm in a situation with just the girl I'm bringing up to the wedding, or if it's just the girl I met at the wedding and she effed around and I found out she caught a bouquet. Like, come on now. We gotta chill out. We gotta chill out. Oh my goodness. I can forever seeing this becoming a meme. This is gonna be a meme. If anything, this should be. I'll make it a meme. I'll make it a meme. Sure, you ain't got to worry about it. But yeah, bro. Shout out to oh my goodness. Shout out to James Harden. Now, in extra news, I will say this. This goes as a shout out in a different way to Michael Rainey. If you don't know who that is, I mean it's Tariq. If you heard of Power, that's who that is. Shout out to the Tariq, Michael Rainey. He had a moment over the weekend. Now I only caught clips of this. I did not see the whole interaction. I'm not gonna lie though, the clips that come with this is rather uncomfortable. I wouldn't say it's all disturbing, but it is visible that it's very uncomfortable. If anything, most of the clips have left, and so I promise you, unless you go to the dark web, you're not gonna really see it. Dark web being Twitter. But yeah, man, he had an interaction on stream not too long ago. Shout out to Ty Lee James. His Twitch that happened over the weekend. He brought in Michael. They was talking about a few stuff, definitely things that was going on with his acting career and Power and stuff like that. And it eventually happened to where there was an interaction between Mr. James' sister and Michael. In that interaction, I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely some SA. He got assaulted because he was not feeling the old girl, but she was definitely feeling on him. And in the midst of it, you can see just how uncomfortable he was. Honestly, I wouldn't expect nobody, especially if you get in touch like that, to continue. He did keep it, you know what I mean, copacetic, and he finished the interview, which by all means, he didn't have to do that. If we're keeping it honest, we could have just ended this here and I left. But for him to finish the interview, I'll commend him at least to that. But that was uncalled for. And I guess it would raise an extra question of how do we treat SA versus a dude? Is it all treated equal? Because nowadays I have been seeing this response to it. Luckily, not as much response, but there has been a few people online that say, "Yo, bro, he a dude. I bet he liked it, or he just playing because he know the camera there." Yo, it's obvious he didn't. But for us to take that approach with him. And I'm not going to make this the conversation. Definitely not. But for us to take that approach with him, if we going to treat all of these the same, let's treat them all the same. He clearly didn't want this. He clearly didn't come up there for it. And he didn't even give you some dudes got a way to show you when they want to be touched. He didn't even show you a hint that he wanted to be either used or handled that way. Like I said, I feel bad for him, but this is also the reality that come with being a dude nowadays. A lot of stuff you're supposed to just take on the chin, or folks just expect you to. I'm glad not all of the conversation was that. I've seen a lot of women speak up for him, which was absolutely, I commend all of y'all for that. Now he did drop a response, or he commented on the situation, basically saying that well, first off, James, the guy that was over the stream, he commented first earlier today, absolutely taking up for him, apologizing for how his sister handled stuff, banning her from the show, which I ain't nothing else to do from there. But he said he respects any decision on how he moves, or if he wants to press charges, any other light. He say wholeheartedly will take any of that on the chin, which I agree with him, but he kind of in a predicament where he has no choice at this point. That's your sister doing something crazy that you gonna be looked at bad for. So shouts out for at least being accountable for somebody that wasn't trying to be accountable for you. But Michael did drop and address his point on IG today. He said, at this point, everyone has seen the video circulating online. I am still in shock. I don't fully know how to process what happened last night. This is an unfortunate situation that I do not condone in any way. I can't take it lightly, because I know I would be in serious trouble if the roles were reversed. He is absolutely right. I'll get back to that later. But he said I know I would be in huge trouble if I know the roles were reversed. The fact is, SA is never okay, regardless of gender or status. We're all human, and we're here to respect each other. Most importantly, we should always respect ourselves. Hey man, ain't no way better to say that. No way better to say that. He was cooking. By no means should this ever be a thing to where it should be a thing. But if the roles was reversed, I mean, he brought it up, he would lose a career. Let's just say the roles were reversed. He was a little tipsy. He did a little extra. Yada, yada, yada. Old buddy's sister comes in and he moves that way. As wild as it sounds, his career would be over. There wouldn't be no more power. Tariq would have got killed off screen. 50 Cent is gonna be rushing, if not trolling the mess out of him until he just don't address him no more. Like, everything for this dude will go down the pipe. So I'm with him on, yo, bro, I got to keep that same energy, regardless if I feel fine or not. If I don't handle it the right way, now that leads for a bigger problem for not just me, but for other folks. So shouts out to him being responsible in that facet. And also shouts out to the brother being accountable. Now, I think this is last on the list. Now, this dude, I'm a little worried about him. Now, Ryan Garcia, one of the boxers. If you don't remember, I did cover him a few, at least about a week ago. This is a dude that messed around and he took some substances for a beatdown that he did deliver. Me and Joe, we argue about a lot of stuff with sports. We can't argue. Ryan Garcia handled his business. But apparently, not too long ago, he was arrested for vandalism in Beverly Hills. Now, I did see a few videos online which really was weird. It looked like he was on some type of drugs. And lately he's been doing these little posts or whatever. Now, as a boxing fan myself, I do like Ryan Garcia. Now, I'm disappointed that he was a juicer, but I did like Ryan Garcia. Think he was really, really talented. I think he really needs a friend right now, and he needs to absolutely sit down because he looks like the epitome of somebody crashing out because you can't handle the attention. And I think it's hard to talk about it. I think that a lot of superstars do kind of deal with this. He was on that way to stardom. I know it definitely when it came to boxing. It was him and it was Tank after Mayweather. Floyd Money. Him and Tyson, they already solidified they this decade's not Muhammad, but at least Sugar Ray's. Like they the men. But as far as the next crop, it was Tank and then it was him. I hate that because I thought he would have been at least some type of Pacquiao for folks. But the way he's been moving lately, it looks like he's finna crash out onto epic proportions. Hopefully, this is the last I've seen of stuff like this, and we won't have to revisit him in the news. Just boxing fan. That's just me. I know a lot of y'all probably don't care too much about boxing. That's just me getting my stuff off with a little bit of the sports that I do have. So, hey man, shouts out to you. Hope you get the help that you need. Please don't crash out in this facet because, yo, bro, you too good for that. That has been the entertainment news for today. As far as with topics, I got y'all. I definitely got y'all for today. Because we finna talk about spinning back. We finna talk about spinning back the block. Nephew, what do you mean by spinning back the block? Thank you, empty noise in the air. And sitting in Joe's spot. Thank you. Spinning the block. What do I mean by that? That's a young term for circling back to the person that you dated before. Now, as far as what I would say on that, let me at least paint the picture. All of these are hypotheticals. A friend of a friend of a friend that know me. But have you ever been in a place where you dated someone and in dating with them, y'all had your interactions, the relationship ran its course. Maybe y'all broke up really, really bad, or maybe one of y'all broke up without closure. Hell, y'all can even say y'all broke up mutually. But y'all broke up. There was clearly something different between y'all two. And in the midst of that, now you had moved on. Life got to a different point for you. Like I'm sure whoever you left, and y'all interact with each other again, but there's clearly a difference. Shoot, if anything, you probably smelt, looked, and felt something different whenever you saw them. It was like a glow up. In fact, if you had to compare, they probably was glowing brighter than you. Have you ever spun the block back with somebody that you've dated before? And then I'll give you a caveat. Let's say you spun back, but they was better for you before. Let's say you got back with them, but now they trash. Have y'all ever spun the block back with someone that you've dated before and it worked out worse? Let's see you over here. Oh, okay. DT, what's up? That's the family of the show. I see you. Miss Shamel, she in. Miss Rachel. I have no idea why my sites are not coming up. But I got this from, and shout out to 8 at the table, or 8 at the platform, whoever they call. Let me see. Yeah, 8 at the table. All right. Shout out to them. I did get this from them. If you want to see more on this type of topic, go to 8 at the table. They bring out a lot of relationship stuff. But I figured this was pretty interesting, and I definitely wanted to talk about this with the old man and with you guys today. Because me personally, I haven't spun the block back to anybody that I've dated before, but I'm not too good not to do that. like if I see some work that I did have before and it was actually fire now, like it's way better than it was then. Oh yeah, I definitely holler back. But I'm interested to see how y'all feel about it. Is that wrong? Like, is it bad to spin back? I know we talked a little bit about this. If I'm not mistaken, on TikTok. Shout out to the TikTok. And a lot of folks were saying they would never spin back. They would never talk to the folks that they already dated. Which, I mean, I can understand it, but you never know until you try it. Maybe y'all just didn't mesh before. Maybe it just didn't work out before. But this lady on 8 at the table, how she was describing it, she was actually and I might be wrong about it, so like, again, go check how they said it. But from how I heard her, she was talking about someone that she was in a relationship with before, where they was on different or opposite ends, and it seemed like the roles were reversed when she went back to him. So I'll let her speak. Shoot.
You think the grass is going to be greener on the other side. And then you go back to something that you dated when you were younger, and you kind of realize, again, like you said, that person's mindset didn't necessarily grow over time. Things happen in your life that make you change a little. Things happen in that person's life that makes them change a little more. This time frame has passed, and now the things that have occurred during that time frame have changed the two of you in a certain way. And now you go back into the situation and you guys don't connect as much as you think. Okay, that situation could have worked out, but because of the time that has passed, you guys are not the same, and you think it's going to work out, but it doesn't necessarily happen that way. Now I'm a person that doesn't care for toxicity. I used to be a person that loved it because it was fun. I was young. I didn't have a bigger plan.
I will say I call cap on that part. Most folks that like toxicity, you say you probably don't like it no more. I'm gonna be 100 with you. You're probably lying. I think you still do like toxicity in its own facets. It's just now you like mature toxic. You like a different flavor of toxic. You ate a different type. You got some new toxic on your palate, and now you are too good for his type of toxic. But that was the type of toxic that you was. So I call cap on that. But then maybe that's just me. I'm open to being wrong in that. Like, I don't care. You can say I'm wrong, but for some toxic folks, you lie. You didn't grow out of toxicity. You just got a different way of channeling it.
For my future, but now that I'm back with you, the toxicity won't work for me. So therefore, this relationship can't work.
This was one of the things Alan told me, which
I don't want to go too far into it. But that was pretty much the grounds for it. Like I said, y'all let me know up in the chat if you guys have ever spun the block back, or if you would. You know what I mean? Have you ever, or have you done it? How did it go? Shoot, how did you handle that, or how did they handle you? That'd be my question for it. 1 sec. Goodness. My talent leave, and now I gotta like send folks stuff. and go back 1 sec, you guys. But yeah, man. But like I said, I have no idea how I would handle or if I would or not. I know there was a lot of situations that I can imagine myself going back to it. I can imagine myself speaking to someone that I've spoke to before. I haven't met them yet, but if I was using my imagination, and this was a girl that we at least broke up mutually. Yeah. Let me see. let me see what life have done for you. let me see if anything different happened. I wouldn't mind doing that at all. Let's see who in the chat. But yeah, I 1 sec. And this. Let me see what he got to say about it. Or but yeah, as far as with spending back with somebody, I have no idea what I would do in that type of situation. I know for me, if I'm dealing with a girl and I have to break up with you like that, I probably won't be spending it back on you. I probably wouldn't see anything else special about you. That would take a lot of convincing. If I'm dealing with somebody in that type of way, where it could happen, you got to convince me that there's something to go back to that's different. Like if I'm dealing with a girl and let's say we broke up on some you cheated type of stuff, or maybe we broke up because you are too bougie for me. You have to convince me that you can humble down if you was too bougie, or you had to convince me that you're not a cheater. And at that point, it's type of uphill battle because I'm not really gonna see you more than just being what you were. But I think that's something that happens more for girls. I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, no, I would. I'm gonna say that, but just know I ain't got my heart in it. Like I think I've seen more girls do that more than a dude, but I done seen some dudes take back some girls just off of some thirsty, I'm desperate type of ish. Like I didn't see some dudes take back a girl and be like, bro, wasn't you happier when you was single? now I look like you got all stressed back out again. It was worse. Where you got gray hairs, where we just 25. But I didn't see some dudes spin back. But I do think that's something that I think you could get a girl to do more than a guy. Because for a guy, all we got to do is channel just a little bit of emotion, especially for the girl that you didn't show no emotion to. Especially for the girl that you tried to cut off most of them emotions with. All you gotta do is just like salt bay a little bit of emotion to her. Oh, she's gonna be like, oh my gosh, you changed. Oh, that's a knee slapper. Like she's gonna be like, oh my gosh, you changed. I can tell that you're a lot more compassionate. I can tell that you more in touch with your emotions. You're more emotionally intelligent. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't be me if I didn't make fun of it. But I think you can get a girl on that more often than not, depending on what type of guy you are. That's what I'll say. Depending on what type of guy you are, I can see you getting that off. But if you a guy, I'm gonna be 100 and you spinning back or you letting her come back, I ain't gonna say that. But if we take an alpha male and beta male categories, you might be a sigma or a beta. Here's why I say that. Because for you to have dumped her, and this is only for you dumping her case, and this is just my opinion. So before you start bashing me and jumping in, all of this is an opinion based. Like I said, this is a hypothetical to somebody that don't exist. But for you to take back somebody you dropped off, you broke up with, you had to have already regretted the decision. You had to been saying this at your, you know what? You said this when you was upset because you thought she couldn't get better. And you saw when she left you down the line, she got better. And it don't sit right with your spirit. So immediately, if you see her single after it looked like she got better, you gotta catch it again. You gotta make sure that she gonna stay without anybody else but you. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's a beta sigma category because you don't really want her for real, but you don't want nobody else to have her. At least that's what I'm taking from most dudes that find themselves in that situation. Now, there is nuance with all this. I'm not gonna lie to you. We can take this 10 ways to Sunday, however you want to do it, or however scenario you want to bring into it, whether it's the dude got cheated on and she cheated on him back and now they broke up, or just one of them cheated. Like, you can have fun with it. But to spin back and you've seen something that was clearly different from how it was, I wonder, how do you handle that? Do you just break up again? If that case, you should have just left him single. But did you break up again? Do you try to work this out this time? we see what working out helped you beforehand. Y'all was single before. Like, what do you do? If you get back with whoever it is, let's have fun with it. Let's say the girl gets this guy back and she took him back for cheating. Something simple, something easy. Everybody cheats, yada, yada, yada. But she took him back for cheating. How do you show somebody that you're not a cheater no more? How do you show somebody that you don't do that no more? That you ain't gonna do that no more? I mean, you would have to be placed in scenarios where you would cheat, right? Like, you can't just believe, oh, yeah, I'm a better man. I don't do that no more. Yeah. That back there, that was the old me. That ain't me no more. I got my life together. Yeah, baby. I learned from all my ways. Cause see, it took me looking back at myself to understand. Sound like Joe. It took me looking back at myself to understand just how wrong of a man I was. And I wasn't good for you. Oh my goodness. It would have to be some BS. You would have to place this dude in a scenario for him to prove to you that they're not a cheater no more. Shoot, how do you deal with somebody that made finances an issue? I mean, the only way I can think that you think finances is not an issue no more is if you see whoever you was with and they don't look like they have financial problems. That's the only way I can think that you would be like, oh, he ain't got money problems no more, or she ain't got money problems no more. Because look at them. They living good. Got a whole Bentley outside. Probably, shoot, maybe not even a Bentley. They got a whole Mercedes or a BMW out there. Range. Paid off. Ooh. They smell good when they walk past me, and they got good clothes on. Oh, you got swag now. You didn't have swag when you was with me. And then you start looking at all the stuff that they got on and be like, oh, yeah, I see something new. I put you on to that right there, though. Them shoes, that purse, you ain't even know how to spell Chanel right until I bought that for you, girl. Oh, Cartiers. Man, girl, get on. I put you on that for that one Christmas I was able to buy. That was me. Like, how would you prove that if they didn't show you money? Honestly, you have to see them in the interactions. For me, like, how do you handle somebody in an interaction where they have money as a problem? They have to be very what? They can't be frugal with it no more. They got to just blow it. I think most of that will be superficial. If I'm trying to help somebody. Know what I mean? If I'm trying to think of a possible way to make sure that you guys just don't go back out into the dating market thinking that that's how you handle stuff, or just to handle somebody that you've dealt with before. Shoot, it ain't even got to be the dating market. All you're doing is spending back to somebody you already know. I would say don't forget what you already know. If I wanted to, I could probably get this off. Make an example out of somebody I already was with. Oh, Cliff, I remember when you was this and that, and you couldn't pay for this, and you ain't had no car, you had to walk, you had to do that and that and that. Oh, this what you doing now? Oh, that's who you know? I could probably make an example out of somebody if I wanted to. But that would be wasting everybody's time. That would be wasting everybody's time. Not just them that I'm getting this off to make myself feel good in the moment, but at the same time, I'll be out doing this crap, wasting money and doing something for somebody I could care less to waste the money on. A lot of folks would spin back to somebody if they think the grass was green on the other side, and then they get over there and they find out it's blue. Like, come on now. You left me when I had a little bit of grass and a dirt patch in the ground. Now you come back when it's blue. You don't know what it took to put this blue grass over here. It was a lot of other nights to bring this bluegrass here. Shoot, you to touch it. That ain't turf. That ain't rubber. This actual grass is blue. You can't find it nowhere. It took other stuff to make that. And whether it turned good or bad, I think that's a testament to not just how they live their lives, but how the result of you not being in it. Shoot, I ain't gonna lie. A few folks that have frequent me then told me, God, Lee, it looked like you got better when I left. Which was wild, because I never want to be that guy that makes it seem like life got better for you after you done cut somebody off. But sometimes some of this stuff ain't deniable. And sometimes on the other foot, when someone leaves you, because I've been part of both, when someone leaves you, you see just the type of heights they're able to go now that you out the picture. That's hey man, that's a salty tasting bag to hold on right there. How do you handle that? How do you go through these type of interactions with somebody where you have to take a big humble pie and a big bag of, I wish this didn't happen? How you process it? Especially when it's somebody that's your ex. If anything, that's the person you're supposed to get all your stuff off on. But now you want them. Now you want these people back. Never forget how it happened before. That is your reference point at this point. You got to use that as a checklist. I ain't finna be going through with a whole new relationship with somebody and forget how things happened before. And that's what a lot of dudes try to get their stuff off. Man, girl, all that right there. Yeah, you can leave that alone. That ain't even me. I don't know who that is. Oh my gosh, you're so right. Because it don't even feel the same. Good. Shut up. It only don't feel the same for the few days I get to see you until you start actually seeing me. Now you got to deal with who I am now. In most cases, that ain't that different. So, shouts out to the ones that go back to the person they dealt with. Shouts out to the ones if you don't go back to the ones that you dealt with. Hey, and shouts out to the ones where it actually worked. There is some good cases. There is some good cases of folks going back to somebody that they already dated before and it's working out like a dream. I think we mentioned it on the show. Shout out to Joe's ghost. The ghost of Joe over in the corner. We mentioned it on the show. I think it was like with a relationship with a dude and he broke up with his wife after man, I can't even call it. Honestly, I know it was said in one of the shows. Go back to Spotify or go back to any of our YouTube and Facebooks. I'm sure you can find the show. Shameless plug out the way. While I am plugging stuff in, make sure this Wednesday you guys tune in to the Keith and Joe show. If I'm not mistaken, they do have a guest coming on, but I have no idea what the name was. But with them two, I'll be surprised if you don't see somebody you know. Shout out to Keisa, Miss Keisa and Joe. I'd be surprised if you find somebody you don't know up there for the day that comes, Wednesday. Be looking out for that. Also, be looking out for Miss Keisa's interviews that she will have every Friday with the guests that she have. Now yours truly will be producing on that show too. So I'm glad that worked out. Me and Keisa get to work out some more. I get to actually leave this dude alone. He be getting on my nerves. I got time away from home now. I get to go out into the streets. So shout out to them too, man. Next up for a topic. I'm gonna be honest. I want to have some fun because I don't really talk about relationships for real unless I've been through it. I had to pull teeth for that one. But in a relationship, I have this question in this relationship. How am I going to dress this up? If you're dating, and let's say this is one of the downtime dates, this ain't taking you out to no extravagant restaurant. This ain't even a coffee date. This is y'all already done hung out date. Say you dating and you walk in, or shoot, you just getting to know each other a little better. Do you judge somebody off of the playlist that they play you? I know it's stupid. I know immediately that this is absolutely stupid. But watch where I'm going with this. Do you judge somebody by the playlist that they play you? Now, let's say you are the person riding with them in the car and they didn't pass you the aux. They kind of just got you in the car with them. So being in the car with them, they kind of have authority over whatever y'all listening to whatever destination it is. And it's long enough to where you can get a feel for how somebody say their music or how they play their music on the regular. Do you judge somebody for the playlist that they play you? Because I was in an instance, and now this girl ain't nothing to me. If she watching this, I get less. So what? I don't know you. Not for real. Nah, I mean, I might know you a little bit, but I don't know you enough to care. But I was in the car and riding with her. I'm like, all right, cool. You feel me? She's like, yeah, I really don't listen to the radio. I kind of just play my music. I was like, all right, bet. Now, I will take accountability on this. I asked her to play because I want to listen to actual music. She's like, all right, bet. I can play a little something. You might not like my taste or nothing. And she went and played some rap. She went and played some rap. And then playing the rap music, of course, she played some Sexy Red, which at this point, I got a stomach for Sexy Red. I can stand it. That's not my go-to. That's nothing I'm ever gonna play for female hip hop and say, yeah, she lit. But the parent of her Sexy Red with other artists, I had to look at it like, man, this is some BS. I was like, even if I was trying to talk with her, I wouldn't, just because of what you play. But then I had to look at myself like, golly, maybe I just hung around too many old folks. maybe I'm getting a little bit out of touch the more I hang with old people. But I was like, man, this is trash. Like, what you mean? Like, what you don't listen? Everybody be bumping. I'm like, man, shut up. This is trash. Leave me the ox. And then I played my music, and she said it was trash. So I'm really wondering, like, does it can you judge somebody based off of the playlist that they gonna play you up in the car? Is there guidelines to how you're gonna play your music for anyone that gets in the car? Shoot, if we taking it off of relationships, if we taking it off of relationships, I have personal playlists that I play for anybody that gets in my car. Like, if it's just a random person or random, that's gonna be most of the trend stuff. If it's just a random person, that's gonna be like anything that they give you off of Spotify or Pandora. Some blanket stuff that I can stomach, but I know they gonna like. If it's like my dad, I'm probably not playing music. It's gonna be some type of talk radio or a podcast. We're gonna be listening to somebody talking. Shout out to him. I got to get a playlist set up because we're gonna be heading out of town soon. But yeah, it's probably gonna be talk music or sports radio. Sports radio will always get my dad happy. When it's anybody else that's female, I got a female playlist. It's gonna be mostly R&B, if not a mixture of R&B and hip hop. Like, do you judge somebody off of the playlist that they play you? And shoot, while we on the topic of judging people, do you judge somebody based off of not how they interact with people in a sense of service and stuff like that? I think anybody would interact or judge somebody based on how they treat other people. But is it important how they treat their brothers and sisters or other family members, like how they treat their mom and dad? And here's where I'm going with it. Mom and daddy get treated like mom and daddy. So we ain't got to even jump that hurdle. I ain't even got to paint the picture for you. It's just mom and daddy. That's how they get treated. But if they take a different level of either care or disdain for their brothers and sisters, does that matter too? Like, I'm being honest with you. I'm pulling all this out the you know what. But if you're in a relationship and you're dealing with somebody and you see how they treating other family, does it matter? Now, this ain't tied to me or anybody I really, really know. It's just the interaction I saw. But the interaction was between about 4 people. And in one of them, I'm sure all of them was family, but at least 2 of them was like cousins, and they was out there with the guy and his dad. And it was kind of weird. Honestly, they didn't even do nothing that was too troubling or like, oh my gosh, that's egregious. Right? But it was just how you see people get handled. I think I've seen a lot of folks, and I think it's normal. Shoot, now that I speak out loud about it, I think it's pretty normal. Now, I think it does speak to how you move character-wise, but I think it's normalized to this point because a lot of folks handle your favorites better than how you handle just any old people. Like if I was to make the example of how Joe handles me versus how Joe handles Denise. He handles Denise with obviously a little bit more care. Now, when it comes to me, there's probably some other stuff he can relate to me with that he can't always relate to Miss Denise, but that doesn't speak to how he favors or more than likely would favor a Miss Denise versus me. Now, granted, there's probably 2 reasons because of that, because Joe like women and Miss Denise been there. I wouldn't see it no other type of way. Now that's what was that to say? He loves her more than me, probably. I mean, I wouldn't bat an eyelash to it. I'm sure he probably do. Miss Denise been through a lot of other life with him that I didn't. But other folks, especially if you were like in the same household, I think everybody have their favorites, but it's not supposed to be so clear or so obvious. Like if I had 2 sons or I had a son and a daughter, I wouldn't want my daughter to feel left out from the love she have with me just because of I got a deeper connection with my son. I would try my hardest not to show it as much. I forget where I was going at that. Good Lord. I keep trying to relay all of this crap to relationships, but I mean, honestly, it's relationships. If we're being honest, there's more than relationships than just smashing and finding some little girl or what or some dude that you found on a whim or somebody that you already didn't have before. Like there's other types of relationships. But hey, that's just me being messy on a messy Monday. Like I said, this is gonna be a short show. With that being said, make sure you guys do tune in tomorrow. I will probably be out. Got some business to handle. We are growing. I will tell you that. We are growing. Now, whenever he say it, they be like, ew, shut up. But at a certain point, it gets undeniable, which is why you'll probably see more shows like this to where it's probably one of us here and the other one kind of handling business because of how we're growing. We're also looking for people that wants to be a part, that want to genuinely be a part and lock it in. Pun intended. But yeah, man, we are really growing. I like how it's going with us. The different things that we're incorporating and adding to the show. I want to shout out to the TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. They've been steady growing, especially Twitch. We got at least an old reliable that always comes in. I want to make sure you know you are not unseen. And I know that's probably stupid phrasing, but you've seen and it's appreciated. take this with a grain of salt, Bay, because you will not get these sentimental points from me too often. But I do want to say to all of you guys, I appreciate it. Love how you're interacting with the show. And from there, I will see you guys. I'll see you guys Wednesday. Thank you for locking it in. See y'all later.